Alright, sorry about that. I ran out of time, so I had to do a new video. So I just finished going over chapter 5. So then chapter 6 talked about the importance of knowing how to critically think and question, pretty much. It talked about how we must be open-minded. We need to show our students that it's okay that they have the ability to question, that they can choose to question. So, for instance, they talked about the military and how they teach conformity, how students must be controlled, regulated, and made docile for their own good. That shouldn't be it. The students should not have to be like that. In order to be proper citizens, they should be able to question and not conform to what they're told is correct. If we truly want them to critically think, if we want to properly educate them, we have to give them the chance to question and stand for what they believe in. And finally, chapter 7 talked about how usually when the school doesn't do well, it's because of the teacher. The teacher is always to blame. There's bad teachers. Sadly, this is not true because, yes, unfortunately, even though bad teachers do exist, there are amazing teachers that are blamed for, as being, they're labeled bad teachers. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought there. They're labeled bad teachers just because their students or their school is seen as low performing. This often happens in lower income schools because, unfortunately, teachers aren't provided, just like students, teachers aren't provided with the proper resources, the proper materials. So if it's difficult for students to learn in such an environment, it's equally difficult for teachers to teach in such an environment. Even if they have this rich curriculum, they might not have the resources to do it because they lack the proper materials. And this goes back to the funding. So again, chapter 7 just talks about how teachers are often to blame, even though we should not blame teachers. There's many factors that come into play. They also talked about how excellent teaching is sustained through a culture of respect and mutual recognition. Again, engage in dialogue with your students. And often teachers are not given the opportunity to teach because they are told to teach to the test. Again, it goes back to what I was talking about with the lower income schools. Oftentimes, they can't teach the way they want to because they lack the proper resources. And then because they are low performing, they have to take even more standardized tests, and then they face the dilemma of teaching to test or actually teaching to critically think and problem solve. Unfortunately, many teachers end up falling into the standardized test because they're not given any other choice. They have to have students pass and do well on these tests, because if not, they're not given the proper funding. So that's the end of my discussion for the reading discussion for number 3. Thank you.